What's up, G Plus fam, boxing enthusiasts, boxing aficionados? I figured I'd do my own video today after yesterday's debacle of the Adrian Broner and Sean Porter fight. Yeah, I'll touch on the Paul Smith and Andre Ward fight and the Lemieux and Dom fight later. But this is about AB. Absolute bum. Always BSing. There's so many other words to describe or words to imply with those acronyms. AB. I'll start here. According to the CompuBox or punch stats that were supplied at the end of the fight, over the course of a 12-round fight, 88 punches were landed out of 309 punches thrown. Now, I did the math. Yesterday I was doing this when I was replying to several people who were making posts about the fight, posting scores, looking at you, Taiwan Snow, and you too, JJ Walker. 113, 113, 114, 112. Yeah, I'm jumping on you right now. But, nah, it's just me being funny. But, regardless, 88 punches landed. Doesn't matter how clean the punches were. 88 punches over the course of 12 rounds. I did the math because I posted it on there. 88 divided by 12 comes out to 7.3333333333333333 punches landed per round. And regardless of how clean they were, if they're not effective in getting the other fighter off of you, and we seen how swarming and we seen how brawling and mauling Porter was, those 7 punches per round landed meant nothing. And then you break down 309 punches thrown total over the course of 12 rounds. That breaks down to 25 3/4, or 25.75 punches per round. That means you didn't even throw 26 punches around. You threw 3/4 of a punch. Looking at Adrian Broner and what he was able to do against John Molina and what he was able to do against Carlos Molina Jr. or Carlos Molina, whatever the hell that dude's name was, what he was able to do against the Mexican fighters. I'm just not impressed. I'm not. He had a problem with Emmanuel Taylor, the same dude that Chris Algieri slapped around and won a unanimous decision over. And that was a good fight. Emmanuel Taylor actually showed up for that fight, but he lost decisively. And in Emmanuel Taylor's last fight, he didn't look very good. I think even if Broner went to a new trainer, he just doesn't have the ability to adapt. He doesn't. When facing a pressure fighter, or just even facing a fighter that's superior to him in skill, he doesn't, or even equal to him in skill, he doesn't have the ability to adapt. Sorry, I'm looking at somebody walking down the street. But he doesn't have the ability to adapt and change his game plan to be successful. Now, okay, the knockdown in the 12th round, that was impressive. Why can't he do that the entire fight? I mean, you had portions of the fight where Sean Porter stood in front of him and basically profiled, and Broner wouldn't throw a damn punch. No effective combinations being thrown at all to try to land or try to open up any offense. You can't be a routine and regular counterpuncher and expect to be successful. I mean, Floyd Mayweather, spectacular counterpuncher. But the man is also an effective, aggressive, or offensive puncher as well. The man can find openings, or see openings, and in that split second, make a decision, okay, what punches need to be thrown. Don't believe me? Yeah, go back and watch the Arturo Gatti fight. Don't believe me? Go back and watch the first Maidana fight when he actually started to turn it up on Maidana. Even the second fight. The man pick and chose where he wanted to punch that man in his face. And the catalyst of them all, Even though the world wants to say he ran and he hugged, when he fought Manny Pacquiao, anytime he wanted to, he could easily put forward offense and hit that man. I actually think watching the Manny Pacquiao fight, he took it a lot easier on Pacquiao than he could have. But we're not going to go back and forth about Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, because this is about Adrian Broner. Now, I think if you gave him to somebody like Virgil Hunter, real talk, Virgil Hunter with Adrian Broner, no-nonsense approach, training, Adrian Broner could really and truly realize his potential as being a great fighter and possibly a great champion. But the way that he fights, the mentality that he has now, nah. Even going to 140, I don't see him doing anything, because looking at that fight that Matisse and Provodnikov just had, the shots that Matisse landed on Provodnikov and the shots that Provodnikov landed on Matisse, those are, I'm talking about the really, really punishing shots. Broner got hit yesterday easily, and Porter was able to land some very good shots to the face, and he was able to land a lot of body shots. I think he goes out. Flat out. Matisse or Provodnikov. And that's deep water. We're not even talking about throwing him in there with Terrence Crawford, who could pick him apart, or even throwing him in there with Lamont Peterson, who could sit there and put hands on him. That's just the top four alone in that division. So I don't think he could do anything at 140 either. I just don't see where he fits in. And I'm saying this because I looked on the rankings. Adrian Broner was supposed to be like number 3 on the list of the IBF for the IBF's vacant belt that they have at 140. Okay, he can go get a 140 belt in the IBF, but they got a bunch of nobodies that are like number 1 and number 2, and then number 4 and 5. There's nobody really on there. So, he goes and gets that belt. Then the WBA and WBC belt are still available because Danny Garcia vacated. Okay, now you have Matisse and Ruslan and Terrence Crawford there for those belts, along with the WBA that Crawford has. You still have Lamont Peterson there. What can Adrian Broner do? Where can he go? Everybody says he can go up. No, he can't. We found out the hard way he can't. 147 is too big for him. Marcos Maidana proved that. Everybody thought he was going to be something great because he skipped over weight classes and went up and fought. And Paulie, I get slapped around by anybody and everybody that I get in the ring with, except for Zab Judah Malinashi. Flat out. I just don't see him materializing into anything other than what he is, an overhyped, mediocre fighter. That's just me. Any comments, positive, negative feedback, feel free to post after I post the video.